It was a warm, dusky evening in early December 2023 when a discreet private jet lifted off from Van Nuys Airport in California, destination Liberia, Costa Rica. On board were the Sussexes, Harry, Meghan, and their two small children, Archie and Lilibet. Also joining them was Meghan's longtime best friend, Heather Dorak, her husband, and their kids. No photographers, no leaks, not even a whisper on the usual radar that tracks royal movements. They landed under the cover of tropical nightfall and were whisked away to a private eco-resort nestled between rainforest and sea. The accommodations were off-grid but luxurious, solar-powered villas, an open-air yoga deck, private chefs preparing plant-based meals, and crystal blue infinity pools surrounded by hummingbirds and sloths. For the Sussexes, this wasn't just a vacation. It was a necessary exhale, a pause. After a year of public scrutiny, professional rebuilding, and family strain across the Atlantic, they needed to disappear, if only for a little while. While Archie learned to boogie board under Harry's careful watch, and Lilibet toddled through sandcastles with Heather's kids, Meghan was quietly documenting it all. Snippets, smiles, silhouettes against sunsets. The kind of photos that would never see Instagram but might someday be folded into a memoir, a brand campaign, or a quietly released short film. She posted other content from home, timed perfectly. Cinnamon sticks and cocoa, lit fireplaces, crafting with the kids. Every story subtly misdirected the public about their true whereabouts. When March rolled in, so did Meghan's Netflix project. With Love, Meghan, a tender, lushly produced docuseries that pulled back the curtain on her life, passions, and quiet activism. Her face lit up screens around the world again. But you know, eagle-eyed fans noticed something. The light in the background wasn't Californian. The wood grains in the furniture weren't Montecito minimalism. They were tropically carved, artisan. Meghan's posts on Instagram were carefully curated. Flower arrangements, softly folded linen, tropical fruit styled against rattan. None of it screamed vacation, but for those paying attention, something didn't add up. Not one outlet noticed that the Sussexes had slipped off again, this time for a spring break trip, and not one photo from the trip surfaced. That level of privacy? Honestly, unheard of. Behind the scenes, Meghan was building. As ever, a lifestyle brand focused on intention, ease, and elevated living. It was her next frontier. But while launching, she kept the world guessing where she was at any given moment. The art of distraction wasn't just survival, it had become her superpower. By April, Meghan's podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, dropped its first episode. Her voice, grounded, confident, warm, filled headphones across the globe. She talked about growth, self-reinvention, motherhood, risk-taking. But she didn't mention where she was recording it. That's because she and Harry had orchestrated a stealth family vacation timed perfectly with spring break. Sources close to the couple whispered to people that the trip was a celebration of Meghan's milestone month. Netflix, her brand, and her podcast all within weeks. The destination? Unconfirmed. But insiders hinted at a boutique resort somewhere in the Caribbean, private beach access, no-fly zone coverage, and security with a non-disclosure agreement thicker than a royal memoir. Meghan posted daily on her IG stories during that week. Recipes, nature walks, book covers, but not a single post included her face. It was all atmosphere and misdirection. While the British press obsessed over Kate's ski gloves, Meghan walked barefoot on a beach, holding Lily's hand and watching Archie chase sand crabs. For the Sussexes, the difference was striking. They didn't need taxpayer-funded protection. They didn't alert the press. They moved in silence, and silence kept them safe. Back in Montecito, life resumed in what Meghan called, the happy bubble. Their home wasn't just a house, it was a sanctuary. Beyond the gated drive and tucked behind fruit trees was a life far removed from royal protocols and paparazzi flashes. Harry took to gardening. He'd always found peace in nature, and now the family's lemon trees, lavender, and heirloom tomatoes were thriving under his care. Archie, now 5, was full of questions and mischief. Lilibet, 3, had an uncanny sense of presence for a toddler, curious but calm, bold but sweet. Every morning began with a family breakfast on the patio, where Meghan sipped green juice while brainstorming brand ideas and podcast topics. Harry made pancakes, and the kids ran in and out of the French doors with paint on their fingers and grass in their hair. The bubble wasn't just metaphorical, it was their ecosystem. A place where Meghan could create without judgment, where Harry could be a dad without fear, and where Archie and Lily could grow up with the illusion of normalcy. They knew the bubble wouldn't last forever, but they also knew they'd built it themselves. Across the Atlantic, the heir and his family were skiing in Courchevel, France. The British press covered their every move. Kate's chic après-ski outfits, William's parenting style, the resort's cost. Headlines spun praise from tabloids that once feasted on Meghan's every breath. The contrast wasn't lost on observers. While the Cambridges moved in pomp, the Sussexes moved in peace. The difference? One was funded by the Crown estate, the other self-sustained. For Meghan and Harry, every trip was paid for out of pocket. No taxpayer money, no working royal obligations, just autonomy. They'd earned it, fought for it, lost family over it. But they never looked back. Their silence during these private moments wasn't just about avoiding headlines. It was their quiet protest, their resistance, and in many ways, their revenge. Weeks after the spring trip, Meghan sat at her desk with her phone in hand, scrolling through videos she had quietly taken. Lilibet in the tide pools. Archie laughing uncontrollably as Harry gave him a piggyback ride down the beach. Golden hour selfies that would never be posted but might live in a future docuseries. Maybe, maybe not. She began organizing them into folders. Spring Trip 2024, Beach Days, Heather plus Kids. One album she titled Moments Unseen. It was a reminder to herself, not everything needed to be shared. Some things could just be hers. That night, Harry poured wine and turned on music while the kids dozed off. Meghan joined him on the couch, leaning into his side as he raised his glass. "To freedom," he said softly. "And to moving quietly," she replied. The camera lights were off, the press was busy elsewhere, but here, in this room, surrounded by love, legacy, and laughter, they were exactly where they were meant to be.